It's Korean Heist.
It's time for your money heist career.
You're shit.
What?
I'm saying it's Korea Heist, and when you come in with monotone as fuck.
Yeah.
Right, here we go, right? I'm going to say that, and you need to do something better.
What do you want to do, though?
Do something better. It's Korean Heist.
Episode 1.
Get yourself at the door.
What do you want me to say?
Right, we're hitting it once, and that's it. I don't care if it's a fuck up. It's Korean Heist. Episode 1.
These guys are robbing money and it got us wanting to watch. We're skint, and why not watch a show that's about making dollar, making cash, making the green stuff.
The green one. We haven't seen the normal Money Heist. I know it's in Spanish, so let's try the Korean version first.
Yeah, so this Money Heist Korea show is basically it's a remake on a Spanish show, but I would back the Koreans over the Spanish all day long. I couldn't even tell you one Spanish TV show in the history of TV shows.
Narcos. Well, it's not really Spanish.
Well, that's Mexican, isn't it?
Well, I meant just Spanish speaking. Money Heist itself ain't Spanish. I'm just saying it's in Spanish. Right? There's a fucking difference. Alright, but let's get stuck in to Korean Heist. We kick off K-pop. I'm dancing down the stairs. Oh, BTS, man. Oh, yeah, man. Gangnam Style.
Right, so we get introduced to one of the main characters. Now, we don't know her name at the moment, but she's living in North Korea, but she kind of wants to be South Korean. And if you don't know, there's like a divide in South Korea. It's not quite...
Korea, mate.
It's not quite the North and South divide of Ireland. Northern Ireland.
The island of Korea.
It's a bit. I mean, it's a bit more serious than that. Basically, if you're North Korea, you're like communist, and you have to grow up and join the army and kill people. Whereas South Korea is more like capitalism and just more like free world, and you can do whatever you want. It's like kind of like moving from North Korea to South Korea, I guess, would be the equivalent of a Mexican trying to go over the border to live the American dream. Is that fair?
That's close as we're going to get.
Anyway, then the two countries kind of come together. The two countries kind of join forces and begin to cooperate. So we see the main character go from North Korea. She was in the army, and then she gets to leave the army because, like I said, freedom. You got freedom now, so you don't have to join the army and fight and die. You can move to South Korea. She goes to South Korea to live out her dreams and, you know, and experience the whole K-pop thing that she loved growing up. And it turns out that doesn't really like South Korea either. Goes there, tries to make money. There's no money. Skint. Not living a good life.
You get the gist to here is kind of just trying to bury capitalism in America.
You can interpret it that way, but I mean, that's probably a good way of interpreting it.
That's the way I interpreted it. It's like, this was like a pro-communism ad.
Oh, not really, because they kind of bury North Korea at the same time, like, so.
I don't know, man. It just seems weird. Seems like a really weird concept to start of this. It's like, oh, North and South collide, but they're together and they're all...
They're both shit.
Yeah, they're both shit, brother.
It's like, we hate the communism, but then we go to South Korea and we don't like that any better. But yeah, then she goes to South Korea. She begins waitressing at a restaurant, isn't making a lot of money, sees her fellow work staff basically eating shite, and they think their life's good. That's kind of like us. I mean, we just had a McDonald's earlier. We thought our life was good, but then
but we didn't eat at the bin, mate.
True. We didn't eat at the bin, but the point is, you always want more. What this tells me is she's working a normal job and she's not happy with it. And that's the way we feel. So, is that us shitting on capitalism? Or is that us realising that we need to change our life?
No, because that stuff ain't possible without capitalism.
True, but I mean, it's kind of the same thing, working a 9 to 5.
It is, but that's what inspires you. You could be working a 9 to 5 in communism, and you can't get anywhere.
You can't really get much more working a 9 to 5 in capitalism, I would argue.
You can get up the ladder.
You can get the ladder.
Communism, it's a ladder, but you can only go down.
But anyway, she's not happy with her life. Her boss is telling her to try some drugs. This stuff comes from the north. It's called ice. Then pretty much suddenly, person bursts into the room, all busted up, and she's been stealing from the restaurant that she works in. Then Tokyo realizes it's a
garbage muncher.
Yeah, the garbage muncher. She then kind of blames the people there for her having to thieve in the first place, saying that like kind of. It's kind of. I mean, I guess it is kind of like blaming capitalism.
See, to be honest, right? This just seems stupid. it's like she wanted to die here, because she literally just outburst, and there's 3 guys, there's a gun, there's 3 guys, I mean, that alone, it's 3 on 1 essentially, because the other person's beaten to a pulp.
Yep,
Is she asking to get battered here?
Basically gets in a bit of an altercation, manages to break free, grabs the gun, shoots the people, and then she escapes with the garbage muncher. 1 year later, she's out. She's been robbing places. She's on the news. She's on the TV. She's wanted for a series of robberies against loan sharks. So I guess she's doing like some sort of anti-vigilant, not Punisher style, basically robbing from people that rob people.
But we don't really get to see it.
You can argue, yeah, we don't get to see it, but you can argue that loan sharks kind of do rob from people. She's robbing for them, but she's on the news for it, so I don't know, loan sharks must be legal in South Korea. But but robbing from loan sharks ain't. And then someone approaches her as she's about to end her life, and it turns out this man is called the Professor. She goes to shoot him, but he tells her that he won't do it, and he says, if you're going to shoot yourself, then you may as well die for my cause, and his cause is to pull off the greatest heist of all time. So then we go to like this warehouse.
Then it turns out in his heist, you can't die. He doesn't want anyone to die, so that statement's irrelevant.
Well, they can die, he just doesn't want to kill anyone because it affects your negotiation tactics and stuff.
Fair enough, but you got to listen to the Professor.
The Professor knows all. So we get introduced then to all the characters. It turns out the woman that we've been introduced to for the first 10 minutes, who we did not get a name. So they pick names from around the world because he doesn't want them to get too personal. He doesn't want them to give away their real identity. So all the people that the Professor's crew that he's assembled, they all pick names from around the globe. And I thought that's pretty cool, the way they just pick names.
It is, but again, it's kind of just a cheap way of doing it. Like, oh, we're a Korean TV show. All our names sound similar. No offense, they do. So let's just name each other all important countries or cities around the world. That's what it came across to me like.
I liked it.
If this is American, right, they're not going to be like, right, let's go get a globe and let's all name each other names around the world. No, it's not happening.
So you think they would just assign names then?
Do we just have fucking nicknames?
But they don't want to use names.
Nicknames.
Nicknames is similar to your name.
Right, well, see when Sam Crow are sitting around the table, they don't get Bobby doesn't whip the fucking globe out, right, and go, right, Clay, what do you want? Clay lands on fucking Rwanda.
Hold on, Dick. Jackson is called Jackie Boy. What? That is just too similar.
Tig. Chibs. Pishy Pants Pine.
Right, so anyway, we got all these nicknames. The main character picks Tokyo. We have Mr. Chu and Sang for Squid Game. He picks Berlin, and they basically just pick Denver. Picks Denver because Rocky Balboa's his favourite movie. That must have popped you.
It was alright.
He said Rocky Balboa.
But right, it's his favourite movie and he's shocked to learn it's in Philadelphia. That's just fucking stupid.
Right, so they all pick names, they all pick code names, and then they decide, the Professor basically gives them the plan, and the plan is to infiltrate the Mint, which is like the biggest, it's like the only bank that is
Wall Street in Korea.
Yeah, it's like a joint bank, so it's a joint bank
Die Hard free on crack.
It's the only joint South Korean, North Korean bank. It's the biggest bank of them all. It's the Mint. It's in the name, really, the Mint. And he says
Imperials.
He says they plan to steal 4 trillion won, actually. Not too sure how much 4 trillion won is, because won, as we've came to realise, isn't worth that much.
I'd say 4 trillion won would probably be a couple of billion US. It's not going to be. It's not. I mean, 4 trillion is like literally entire. Like, I mean, that is kind of like. Well, I mean, I guess it could be from a point of view because like the Koreans are rich, so I don't see why they couldn't have that sort of money saved up. But also, if they're printing their own, spoiler alert, why can't they just print an unlimited amount? Why has it got to be 4 trillion?
How much can you realistically take out with you, though? Do you know what I mean? There's no point. You could print out a fucking ocean's worth, but you can't carry it, can you?
True and all. Right, fair enough.
Alright, so then they go over the plan. He's got like a sculpture, like a wee mini. What do you call that? Like a mini.
Aye, I know what you mean.
Well, what do you call it, mate?
Don't know. Playboard.
No.
Jigsaw had them in Saw, man. Diagrams.
Mini sculpture of the Mint that they're going to infiltrate. So he sets out the plan. He says, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go in from here. We're going to hijack the truck that is going to go to the Mint.
It's delivering a shipment of the gear. The money.
The money,
So they hijack it. They pretend to be these guys in order to get in. He has to hack through an ID to make it look alright at the checkpoint. They get through. Then they've got the school bus kids that are there. And then that's when the heist gets set completely into motion.
It kind of worked out well for them because there is currently like a school trip at the Mint, so it's more hostages. So
yeah, but that's exactly why he planned it. It's not like that was fucking coincidence.
Well, true, I know, but I mean,
you said that, said like, fuck, there's kids here. Anyway, right? I mean, basically the whole heist hinged on the fact that the woman at the desk was going to hit the red button, because that would have severely fucked their plan up. But it didn't, and them easily take control. The main guy there is talking to the woman is fucking Gumar, so to speak. And as this is happening, they're having a lover's quarrel, so to speak. The guys jump out with their masks again. What is these masks all about? It's like that movie. What's that movie called where they all wear the masks? Vendetta.
I think so.
That's what it reminds me of. Kind of reminds me of that. But again, they're wearing all these masks.
I don't like the director of the Mint. I really don't. He comes across as like a
shite bag, sleazy bastard.
Yeah, I don't like him. Basically, the girl, the woman that he's been sleeping with, he said that he's going to leave his family for her. Then she tells him that she's pregnant, and all of a sudden he just like wants to wash her hands of.
I'm not being funny, right? But
she was saying that he promised to bring her family from the north to the south, so. Let's be real. People definitely want to leave the north to come to the south.
Let's just be
real, no doubt about it.
So that's
no one's escaping the south to go to the north.
But let's just get my point across here, right? These shows are all woke. You know why? See, in Korea, the women they portray the women in these shows like as if they're like fucking untouchable.
In what way?
My name, this. They're completely overbooked. When seeing reality, like, in those cultures, they're just not like that. I'm sorry to burst everyone's bubble. They're just not. Like, in that scene...
Well, I think you're wrong, actually, because even the professor's mentioning in North Korea, he knows it'll be a man that's sent to the thing. So there is a difference, like...
I'm on about South. I know, that's what I'm saying, North Korea's...
Yeah, but South Korea is more like... America, UK, if it's more like Western... That is the way South Korea is.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between West and South and North.
I still think they're overbooked. Where's your dishwashers? I'm not seeing them. Where's your Carol Pelletiers?
Well, well, hold on a minute. We had...
Someone's grandma. Hey, Mom, you cooking for tonight?
Yeah, Woo Jin's mother was washing dishes and cooking, and she says, where are we going to go? And she went, I don't care as long as I get the night off from cooking. And cleaning.
So then there's high up police not interpreter, man, what are they? Hostage negotiator, right? Sleeps in and it wakes up like a bum and
she didn't sleep in, it was her day off.
And well, turns out she's like top woman of the police? What?
One of them.
What? Yeah, one of the top police officers in the country.
Sure they got the guy to...
They what? What was it? They infiltrate?
I think he hacked them to get the rest of them. Put crimes against the rest of them so that she would be selected. Sure, he says the rest of them had
he did background checks though.
Well, same thing. I don't know if he set that up or whether he just did background checks. But
no, he did background checks to figure out who'd be the most likely candidate, and it turns out it was her, so that's why he got close to her.
Right,
it turns out that's who her boyfriend is for the past 2 months. Our main professor also found it really cringy throughout this whole thing. When anyone spoke against this professor, she like had fucking hissy fits about it. Like, I understand, right? The guy knows what he's talking about. He's incredibly smart.
Well, yes, the professor, based on what I've seen, I'd listen to him.
Yes, but was it not a bit cringy? Every fucking...
Well, we need to follow the professors. The professor.
If the professor told you to jump off a cliff, would you do... Yeah, I can't jump off the cliff, man. Yeah. Fuck off. What's the main character's name?
Tokyo? Aye.
Fuck off back to Tokyo then. Fuck off back to T.O. T.Y. T.K.
Alright, so they lock down the Mint, and then basically they actually set off the alarm from inside to get the police to try and come. The police come, they get in a bit of a shootout with the police, but of course they're not trying to shoot at the police. They are just trying to elude the police that they're shooting at them, but they've no intentions of actually killing anyone because that would affect their negotiation terms. Rio gets shot. You think he's dead, then you get like a flashback where it shows you Tokyo teaching Rio how to shoot a gun, but turns out he's not dead. Then he gets pulled back inside. He's awake. He's still.
They are spraying at the police cars here. It's not like they're using blanks like Die Hard 2.
Maybe they should have used blanks.
That's what I think they should have.
But then again, if you used blanks, it wouldn't be easy to tell because they'd be like, how come they were shooting us and there's not one shot in a car or nothing? So I guess using blanks would be a bit.
I know, but the whole plan was for them to like shoot in the air and miss them. It wasn't actually to shoot at the police cars. So they could have used blanks in that regard.
Yeah, so then it kind of alludes to the negotiation team that they're not really under control because they think that someone from inside pushed the button, but it was actually the professor's team that pushed the button. Then this leads to the negotiations, and the professor has basically been dating the woman that we spoke earlier of, Sun Ju-win. She's like the top person from South Korea that's been pulled in, so they have to pull in like a top negotiator for the North and a top negotiator for the South to deal with this since it's a joint bank. And it turns out that the North just kind of want to go in and deal with it. They just want to go in and shoot, whereas the South want to negotiate. So again, you're seeing the lines that are divided here. You're seeing that the North are kind of like, take no shit, we'll go in. If we kill hostages, then so be it. They just want to go in and solve it with action, whereas the South are more...
It's so fucking stupid. Just go. I agree with the North. I wouldn't agree with North Korea a lot, but I mean, just go in and get the job done. I just don't get this whole let's wait around with our thumbs up our arses.
Hostages.
Fuck the hostages.
Innocent people getting killed.
The economy getting crippled by this heist, which what they think is going to happen, will make more dead bodies.
I'm just glad that you're not in charge of any negotiating team. So you just go in, not knowing what's happening in there, not knowing what the situation is, you just fire everyone in. Walloper. But
the North Koreans were about to lay the smackdown, man.
The North Koreans were about to lay the smackdown, and the South Koreans stopped them.
If they actually acted a lot faster, the crew inside wouldn't have been able to get all the hostages to dress up like them.
Yeah, so then the professor speaks to Woo Jin, and he's basically pretending that he's inside part of the team, but we all know that he's on the outside. He's pulling the string. He's the puppet master, so to speak, and he lets slip that they only have 4 people. This then allows the negotiating team to basically say, well, you know what, we don't need to negotiate anymore. There's only 4 of them, so we're going to charge in. But of course, the professor was lying about 4. He has like 8 or 9 people inside, but then he's come up with a great plan that he's going to dress up all hostages inside. So it's like 55 hostages, and they dress up in the same gear as the professor's team. So therefore you have a team of 9 that turns into a team of like 64, but the negotiating team and the infiltrating crew think there's only 4 of them. So they go to infiltrate, and then all of a sudden they see that they've got massive numbers, so they have to backtrack. Meanwhile, we see Woo Jin's been invited to the professor's restaurant, but the whole time she doesn't know that the professor is the guy that obviously is behind this heist. She thinks that this is just a man that she's been dating for the past 2 months.
Again, the whole fact he lets out the number 4, like, I mean, I know the other guy, the guy did catch on. Well, then he caught on, like, he mentions the fact, well, why would he tell us that? Come on. Of course. Oh, but he was saying that to make his group sound pish, one of the guys said, to make them sound like they were outnumbered. What? Come on, man. He did that to make you believe he had 4. And you did.
That's what they said. That's what the person says. Like, you would never, why would you want, you would only overestimate the number, you wouldn't underestimate it.
Aye, and then they go in. They take the fucking bait like that, instead of me.
No, but I think that's true. I think he had a point. I mean, would you ever really want to underestimate your number?
Of course you wouldn't.
Exactly, so you can kind of see why they were tricked. Why would you purposely say, I've only got 4 members?
The numbers don't lie, man. I'm interested to see how the fuck they drag this out, because realistically, man, they should be in right now.
So they backtrack. Wu Jin, who earlier got relieved of her duties since they didn't feel there was any need to negotiate because there was only 4 of them. Turns out she gets a phone call because there's not 4 of them. There's a lot more. And then we see the hostages come on. We've got a couple of the hostages. One of them is the director, and one of them is
the daughter of the US ambassador.
Yeah, who's on a school trip. So 2 important people here, and they're basically saying that they've been dressed up as the intruders, the robbers, and then no one can tell who's who. So going in now and trying to eliminate them is kind of off the table because they're all dressed in the same gear. And then we constantly have flashback throughout the episode as well, with the professor speaking to his team before they went in, and then he says we're on to the next plan now. He says it's very unlikely that they would ever keep 4 trillion yuan inside the building. This seems to piss off a few of his team, including Rio, including Denver. They're like, well, how are we going to steal the money if it's not there? Then the professor says, we're not going to steal the money, we're going to make the money. And we find out that they're going to print the money. And then we see the printing room, all the cash. So they're going to print money that is untraceable. And yeah, that's pretty much the plan here as we end episode 1.
Yeah, so that is the plan, but I mean, I have no idea how this goes, but I'm assuming they're going to eventually bring down a negotiation after they print out the money they need. They'll let out the hostages. Oh, we'll let you bring a helicopter in since you were so good letting the hostages go. And then they're going to be like, after they go, oh fuck, they've just printed all the money. They didn't even take any. Oh no. Why wouldn't they even fucking think that's an option though? Come on, man. Use a bit of brains. Where's Bruce Willis? Where's John McClane?
I don't have a clue what you're talking about. But anyway, this is probably the shittest review ever, but we've tried. We have tried.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to get an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to get an 8. What are you giving our review of the show?
A 1. But I mean,
tell you what. Why don't
it utilised flashbacks very well.
No,
I can speak English.
No, what we're going to do? We're going to hire a South Korean and a North Korean to join this Fog Entertainment channel and combine review this show, since we're shit at it. How about that? That sounds like a good idea.
I'm willing to bet my top rocker in North Korea, if they
can't get internet.
If they do have YouTube, they're not clicking on our fucking feeds.
How would you even contact someone in North Korea?
Messenger pigeon.
Smoke signals.
Oh, I am the messenger pigeon.
Anyway, they go 8 out of 10. Enjoyable, but I mean, it is hard. See, trying to review shows and all these characters have got names that you just can't pronounce. It's a lot was happening. I liked episode 1. Lots of flashbacks before they went in to.
Who the fuck names himself though after a place in Zimbabwe or whatever it was like?
Nairobi.
Nairobi, your ass on out of here.
Anyway, 8 out of 10, guys. Let us know what you thought down below. Hopefully, we'll try and get better. We'll try and formulate a better review in episode 2. Can't ask for much more than that.
That's it. Whoa. 8 out of 10. Down.